What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, with another edition of Where, Pick, and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. NFL AFC wildcard game. So this is the part of the first round of the NFL playoffs. So this game is between the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Bills have a 49.3% chance to win. The Jags have a 50.7% chance to win. This is at Jacksonville. So for quarterbacks, you have a Josh Allen for the Bills, 319 out of 460, 36, 68 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Trevor Lawrence for the Jags, 341 out of 560, 4,007 yards, 29 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. So I would say quarterbacks are pretty comparable. I mean, Lawrence definitely has done better in the touchdown department and the yards department. Allen, two less touchdowns. I mean, two less interceptions. But obviously Allen has had the better career than Lawrence, so maybe that'll play a role. I mean, Jags have done very well. They've done very well, even though they've not, they've had some issue obviously the Jags, there's a reason they were able to draft Trevor Lawrence because they sucked. And it's gonna be interesting. You have, the best rushing game versus the best rush defense. So James Cook for the Bills leads the league in rushing yards. You know, playing very well. You know, this would be a big game. Like basically, yeah, and kicker Matt Prater is questionable due to his injury. For that, that could affect the Bills because you obviously need kicking, and yeah. So this could be a really good game, like really good, just with how good each team is. With yeah, with injuries, for the Bills, you have a Phillips, Palmer, Oliver in the IR, Prater and Thompson are questionable for the Jags. Van Lanen is questionable. McLeod, Lewis, Kaiser, and Hunter are on the IR. So obviously that matters. Like this is gonna be a good game, I think. Like I think this is gonna be really good. I think with it being at Jacksonville, I think the Jaguars will beat the Bills tomorrow. NFC wildcard game. So this is part of the first round of the NFL playoffs. This game is between San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Niners have a 43.3% chance to win, and the Eagles have a 56.7% chance to win. This is at Philadelphia. For quarterbacks, you have for the Niners, Brock Purdy with 197 out of 284, 2167 yards, 20 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Jalen Hurts for the Eagles, 294 out of 454, 32, 22, 4 yards, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So obviously, Hurts has definitely been the better quarterback this year, but Purdy was hurt for a portion of it. So for injuries, for the Niners, Cowings on the IR and Williams, White, Green, and Gifford are questionable. For the Eagles, Toth is out, Johnson is questionable, and Ojulari, Hinton, and Lampkin are on the IR. So this game could get pretty interesting. Honestly, running backs, both teams are doing well with Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, and yeah, like this could be pretty two good quarterbacks, two good running backs, some good receivers. Like I think this could be good. I think with it being at Philadelphia, I think the Eagles will beat the 49ers tomorrow. AFC wildcard game. So this is part of the first round of the NFL playoffs. This game is between the Los Angeles Chargers and the New England Patriots. The Chargers have a 45.9% chance to win. The Patriots have 54.1% chance to win. This is at New England. So for quarterbacks, you have a Justin Herbert for Chargers, 340 out of 512, 37.27 yards, 26 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Drake May for the Patriots, 354 out of 492, 43.94 yards, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So May's definitely been the better quarterback this year, and basically who knows he obviously he hasn't been to playoffs. Herbert has, so who knows how much that experience will play a role. I mean, yeah. So for injuries, for the Chargers, Lambert Smith is on the IR, and Fisk, Dupree, Phillips, and Hampton are questionable. For the Patriots, Mumford Jr., Landry III, and Bote are questionable. Tonga's out, and Austin's on the IR. So yeah, this could be a really good game. And 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 basically Justin Herbert, obviously he hasn't necessarily had the best success in the playoffs. I mean, I mean, he's in the same conference as Patrick Mahomes. Heck, he's in the same division as Patrick Mahomes. And obviously, he's been to playoffs twice. Before this year, lost the first game, lost in the first round both years. And Drake May, well, this is his obviously first playoff appearance. He's done very well. Like basically like he has done I mean or like he like the he like he's done pretty well though. Like yeah, so obviously he's considered to be like a MVP candidate, NFL All Pro second team. And he's come on board and just basically been awesome. So yeah, and Herbert's good. So this could be a good team, like good game. Like these two quarterbacks, like these two teams, like basically this could be really good. I think with it being I mean, with how well Bay has played compared to Herbert, and with it being at New England, I think the Patriots will beat the Chargers tomorrow. College men's basketball. Illinois fighting Illini versus Iowa Hawkeyes. Illinois is a 57.5% chance to win, and Iowa has a 42.5% chance to win. This is at Iowa. So Illinois 16 nation, 12-3 record. Iowa's 19 nation, 12-3 record. So this could be a good game. So for stats, Illinois has more points per game, points against. Iowa has a higher field goal percentage. Illinois has more rebounds per game. Iowa has more assists per game. Illinois has more blocks per game. Iowa has more steals per game. I mean, these stats, they're close. So I think home field advantage is going to be the big thing here. So I think Iowa is going to beat Illinois tomorrow. Cincinnati Bearcats versus UCF Knights. Cincinnati is a 37.5% chance to win. UCF is a 62.5% chance to win. This is at UCF. So Cincinnati's unranked 8-7 record. UCF is 25 nation, 12-2 record. So I'm only really making a pick in this game because the spread's like 3.5. Kind of surprising given Cincinnati's record. So with stats, UCF is more points per game, points against. higher field goal percentage, more rebounds per game. Cincinnati has slightly more assists per game, more blocks per game, and slightly more steals per game. So the stats that there's a big difference are points per game and points against. So points per game, it is a 13.2 difference in favor of UCF, and for points against is a 10.5 in favor of Cincinnati. So I would say those things kind of cancel out each other, like relatively, and close enough, like to a close amount, and then so with that and the other stats being very close, I think home field advantage is going to be the big thing here. So I think UCF will beat Cincinnati. College women's basketball. Texas Longhorns versus LSU Tigers. Texas has a 48.9% chance to win, and LSU has a 51.1% chance to win. This is at LSU. So Texas is 2 in nation, 18-0 record. LSU is 12 in nation, 15-2 record. So yeah, this could be a good game. So for stats, LSU has more points per game, points against, higher field goal percentage, more rebounds per game, slightly more assists per game, blocks per game, and steals per game. So most of the stats are close. The one that's the big difference is points per game. That one's like a 9.9 difference. So almost like a 10-point difference in favor of LSU. So that's gonna be the big one. And like with that and it being at LSU, I think LSU will beat Texas tomorrow. Oklahoma Sooners versus Kentucky Wildcats. Oklahoma has a 37.9% chance to win. Kentucky is a 62.1% chance to win. This is at Kentucky. So Oklahoma is 5 in nation, 14-2 record. Kentucky is 6 in nation, 15-2 record. So for stats, Oklahoma has more points per game, points against, higher field goal percentage, more rebounds per game, assists per game. Kentucky has more blocks per game. Oklahoma has more steals per game. So yeah, so the big ones are the point. So for points against, it is a 7.7 difference in favor of Kentucky. The points per game one is a 13 point not 8 at 13.8 advantage in favor of Oklahoma. So that's a big one. Points against relatively close. Other ones are very close. The points per game one, that's the big one. That's a big one. And it's at Kentucky, and so they will have some an home field advantage, and that will play a role. But I think with the points per game difference, I think the points against difference is close enough to where the points per game there's gonna basically overtake it in importance. So I think, despite the home field advantage Kentucky has, I think Oklahoma will beat Kentucky tomorrow. Ohio State Buckeyes versus Maryland Terrapins. Ohio State has a 21.3% chance to win. Maryland is a 78.7% chance to win. This is at Maryland. So Ohio State's 19 in nation, 14-2 record. Maryland's 8 in nation, 16-1 record. So for stats, Maryland has more points per game. Ohio State has more points against. Maryland has a higher field goal percentage and more rebounds per game. Ohio State has slightly more assists per game and has more blocks per game and steals per game. The stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be the big thing here. So I think Maryland will beat Ohio State tomorrow. UCLA Bruins versus Nebraska Cornhuskers. UCLA is a 79.9% chance to win. Nebraska is a 20.1% chance to win. This is at Nebraska. So UCLA is 4 nation, 14-1 record. Nebraska is 25 nation, 14-2 record. So for stats, Nebraska has so UCLA has more points per game. Nebraska has more points against. Field goal percentage is even. UCLA has more rebounds per game, assists per game, slightly more blocks per game, and Nebraska has slightly more steals per game. So these stats, they're pretty close. So I think home field advantage is going to be the big thing here. So I think Nebraska will beat UCLA tomorrow. NBA. Philadelphia 76ers versus Toronto Raptors. The Sixers have a 53.7% chance to win, and the Raptors have a 46.3% chance to win. This is at Toronto. For injuries, for the Sixers, Embiid is a game time decision. For the Raptors, Barnes and Ingram are game time decisions, and Hodl, Barrett, and Hepburn are out. For stats, Sixers have more points per game, points against. Raptors have a higher field goal percentage. Uh, Sixers have more rebounds per game. Raptors have more assists per game. Sixers have more blocks per game and slightly more steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be the big thing here. So I think the Raptors will beat the Sixers tomorrow. San Antonio Spurs versus Minnesota Timberwolves. The Spurs have a 45.3% chance to win, and the Wolves have a 54.7% chance to win. This is at Minnesota. Um, for injuries, for the Spurs, Vassell is out. For the Wolves, Conley and Shannon Jr. are out. For stats, Wolves have slightly more points per game and have more points against. Field goal percentage is even. Spurs have more rebounds per game. Wolves have slightly more assists per game, blocks per game, and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, like very close. So I think home field advantage is going to be the big thing here. So I think the Timberwolves will beat the Spurs tomorrow. Miami Heat versus Oklahoma City Thunder. The Heat have a 20.3% chance to win, and the Thunder has a 79.7% chance to win. This is at OKC. For injuries, for the Heat, Rozier is out. For the Thunder, um, Hartenstein and Topic are out, and Sorber is out for the season. For stats, Thunder has more points per game. Heat have more points against. Thunder is have a higher field goal percentage. Heat have more rebounds per game, assists per game. Um, Thunder have more blocks per game and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be the big thing here. So I think the Thunder will beat the Heat tomorrow. And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening, and look forward to the next video.